Okay, so I am live. Welcome everybody. I'm Garrett Dawn. I'm the Radical Undoing guy. I help you come back home to your body so you can end the fake suffering going on in your mind, get out of the snow globe of hell that most people are living in. And then after that, you can see where you've had a victimized mindset and go from victim to adventure and actually embrace life as the never-ending adventure that it is. Now notice I didn't say that means you won't have any stress or difficulties in life, but with the adventure mindset, you're going to be able to move through those and rise above those like a mountain climber, whereas someone with the victim mindset probably gets terrified just watching a video about mountain climbers while they're sitting on the couch, terrified. So that's what I do. And maybe you know that, maybe you don't. But what I wanted to tell you about is a workshop that's coming up on Sunday. It'll be at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, 5 p.m. CET, Central European Time Zone. Basically, it's called the Bullshit Deflector Workshop. And what I wanted to share with you is a little message that I made for people who might want to attend. So yesterday I was talking to Will. He's like a long-time Radical Undoing client of mine, also now a super good friend, and he's one of the super mutants who kind of made it through all of the material that I produced, all the training I made over about 7 years. So he ran the gauntlet of everything that I created up to that point. But the question we were pondering is, how do we properly describe like these ridiculously mind-blowing results and benefits of the Radical Undoing training without sounding hyperbolic? And if any of you here are live and you have questions, just put them in the chat and I'll take a look. And if you're watching later on, just leave it in the comments and I'll be sure to get back to you. So how do we describe this stuff? How do we describe these results if it always sounds hyperbolic, even if it is true? And what Will said was, and I'm paraphrasing here, is that there's definitely a before and an after with this work, like your life before and your life after. But it's like there's no way to describe the transformation without sounding like a con man. And actually, if I think about it, Will probably said huckster because he's British. But either way, you get the point. So the BS Deflector Workshop is designed with that in mind. So today, I'm not going to promise the complete destruction of your false self. That happens later, and it is glorious and horrifying, all rolled into one. Nor will I promise the complete end of the fake suffering of the mind. That also happens later. But what it will do is going to give you some immediate relief from overwhelm and from any kind of stress you have and from chronic tensions going on in your body. It'll get you grounded and move your identity out of the snow globe of hell of the mind and back into the actuality of the body. Okay, there's nothing mystical or magical about that, although it might seem like it if you've been living trapped in the mind and overthinking for some time. And then also it's going to make it easier for you to focus on whatever you're doing, so it'll expand your attention span, so you're not just lost in your head. And also, this is the best part. I'm so excited about this. I don't know how I didn't quite grasp this until the last couple weeks. It's something I knew about for the last 20 years, but now I see how core it is to all this training and how it's going to make it so that you can overcome the biggest problem that people have when doing this kind of Radical Undoing work, which is staying consistent over time, especially when you don't feel like it. Okay, so that is that I'm going to give you a reliable framework on which you can hang all the different exercises, all the different experiments, all the different paradigm shifts that I'm going to show you how to use. But you're going to put those into a reliable framework so you know exactly how and when to apply the exercises. And some of them only take a few seconds. And this is all in service of navigating a world gone mad. I don't have to tell you that the world's gone mad. You can see it everywhere. But then I thought, if I'm going to make a video, why don't I just go fully hyperbolic and see if it stirs up some sparks of life, like buried under your tense muscles, and maybe cracks the glass of that snow globe of hell that your imagination often gets trapped in. So I'm going to give you a warning right now. If you're cool with some hyperbole, then continue watching this video. But if not, then I recommend just, clicking over and get back to your regularly scheduled programming. All right. So full hyperbole going forward right now. So let me be crystal clear about this. If you do not attend this Sunday's Bullshit Deflector Workshop, you are making the biggest mistake of your life, period. Why? Because this is not some feel-good seminar. This is not some personal development course. This is not some woo-woo New Age retreat. This is a chance to pull your head out of your ass and actually see the world for what it is. Now, here's what you're going to be missing if you don't show up. 1, the TCDR framework. I'm talking like I'm British. Framework. AKA the holy grail of personal transformation. It's like having a cheat code for your brain, and I'm not going to say too much more about it. TCDR framework. And something I only recently invented called the gossip graveyard, where we're going to bury all the bullshit stories you've been telling yourself and that other people have been telling you. And it's basically an exorcism for your ego. And number 3, physical exercises that are going to make you wonder if your body's been trying to communicate something to you this whole time that you just haven't quite been able to listen to or tune into. And spoiler alert, it definitely has. And then number 4, paradigm shifts that are going to make it impossible. Paradigm shifts that are going to make it impossible for you to go back to your old self-victimizing ways of thinking, and make it a lot less likely that other people can draw you into, victim games and the what do you call it, the drama triangle and all this kind of stuff. But I get it. It's a lot easier to just stay home, binge on Netflix, and keep pretending that everything's fine. I did that for years. But let's be real. If everything was fine, you wouldn't be watching this, you wouldn't be seeing this video, or you wouldn't be, in contact with me anyway. You've tried everything else, most likely. If you're anything like me, you've tried the self-help books, the meditation apps, maybe that weird crystals phase that you don't talk about with everybody. Psychedelics, the whole works. None of it worked because none of it gets to the root of the issue, which is the BS that you've been bombarded with so long that it got embedded into the chronic tensions in your body, and then the correlated and subsequent BS floating around in the mind, or what I like to call the fake suffering of the mind. So this workshop is your chance to drop all that dead weight, to purge all that crap and meta crap, and actually start living. Start at ground zero. Or as I like to say, return to square zero. Miss it, and you might as well resign yourself to a life of mediocrity and self-delusion. Sad to say, but that's probably true. So what's it going to be? You're going to keep on fooling yourself, or are you ready to cut the bullshit and see what you're really made of? Now, as the Grail Knight in Indiana Jones in The Last Crusade says, you must choose. The choice is yours, but choose wisely. And remember, fool me once, shame on you. Fool yourself for a lifetime, well, frankly, that's just pathetic. So I encourage you to buy the ticket and take the ride. And hopefully I'll see you on Sunday at 8 a.m. Pacific. And you can find all the details in the description for this video once it gets posted. So you just click on the link, take a look, buy the ticket, take the ride. See you Sunday. And if not, I encourage you to enjoy another day of quiet desperation. And a small PS, if you're offended by this video, good. Maybe that's going to finally light a fire under your ass. So remember, undo, come home to the body, end the fake suffering of the mind, so that you can regain your access to the never-ending adventure that is your life. Enjoy.